and I'm with justbelieveproject.co.uk, and I have Sunny from Personal Mastery Quest today with me.
Hello,
Hi,
hello,
Sunny.
hello.
Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having
Before
me.
we go into this discussion about reality transurfing, let me just ask everybody, can you please, if you haven't already, subscribe, hit the button down below, both on my channel and Sunny's channel. And remember to visit my blog on www.justbelieveproject.co.uk. Okay, let's have this conversation about reality transurfing. Hi.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
Very good. Thank you for having me.
All right, so thank you for accepting my invitation. Would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself and what you do?
Sure. So my name is Sunny. I created Personal Mastery Quest, I think about 1.5 years ago, which is really like a movement about creating your own reality from within and really tapping into your potential to the fullest. So expanding on what you consider to be possible for yourself in this lifetime. And really, that's the journey that I'm on right now, just trying to grow the brand, trying to reach more people with my message. Reality transurfing happens to be part of that message. But really, it's just all around, tapping into your true nature, the essence of who you actually are, and then creating from that space. So creating, achieving our goals and creating the life that we want from a space of empowerment rather than, thinking that you're this little person who is in this large world and has to struggle and fight their way into the life that they want.
Yeah, which is brilliant because I've been, like probably yourself as well, into so many channels about law of attraction. And it's all about manifesting a red car, manifesting a dress, manifesting this, manifesting that. But people don't really stop and think about who they are. They don't understand that law of attraction, reality transurfing, and we'll go into that a little bit further, but they don't understand the potential that it brings for us to know ourselves and how we can use it to develop and remember who we really are. And I'm on the same journey as you. I'm trying to understand who I really am, and I've been remembering more and more, and it's amazing. And that's the message I want to bring to people and inspire people into finding who they are themselves. So good, we're on the same track. All right, okay, so we're talking about reality transurfing, but I think most people don't really know what that is. People know about law of attraction one way or the other. People know like attracts like, but reality transurfing is a little bit more deep than law of attraction, isn't it?
Yeah, it's more of a holistic process versus, just a couple of teachings that kind of hint at the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction isn't necessarily a process. It's and I've done a couple of videos on this before because I get this question pretty frequently. It's like, what's the difference between law of attraction and reality transurfing?
Yeah.
Law of attraction is the law of nature, which basically, it's the simplest way to put it. It's just like energy attracts like energy. And that's just the way that this physical environment really moves and operates. But reality transurfing is the framework around, is a process pretty much. It's a way of living which aligns you to that law, which aligns you to the way nature operates so that there is less friction in your life, so that if you want to get from point A to point B, that there's less friction on your journey there. And really just all around seamless living and knowing that you are the chooser of your experience rather than the victim of your circumstances.
Yeah, and that's very empowering. Understanding that we can really choose what we want and we can just move to a different reality. It's amazing, isn't it? Although we've been doing that all our lives and we don't really understand that we've been doing it. But when we understand it, it's very, very empowering. Very good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You've been doing it unconsciously all your life. Because the way you are, living moment to moment, you are in essentially, this model of reality is called the alternatives model, at least in the reality transurfing perspective, knowing that every single moment you are manifesting essentially a whole new reality, right? You're a whole new body, a whole new world. Yeah. And moment by moment, if this is the case, then, all potential realities exist, right? simultaneously in the now. And so I know we're getting a little advanced, but knowing that every single reality already exists, you don't necessarily have to create anything, but you have to become the vibrational match to what the reality that you want. And then little by little, moment by moment, you will begin to manifest a reality similar to that one, or, you know, that exact one into your now.
Yeah, because if we look into creation itself, creation is already created. There's nothing else we can add to it. So if everything already exists, it's the infinite sea of probabilities, like you were saying that you were going a bit ahead, but I'm going with you.
Yeah.
It's knowing that everything is already there, everything already exists, and that we don't have to make any effort to create something. We just choose from. It's like going to the restaurant and choosing from the menu, isn't it? But then, how would you explain the process of choosing?
Yeah. So creating your own reality is less about manifestation and more about vibrational alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So if like attracts like, then how to organize and organize your own energies, how to manage your own state of being in a way that you become a vibrational match to the reality that you desire, right? So a lot of that has to do with constantly, first of all, getting clear on what you want. A lot of people, you know, just kind of generally want things. They
Mm-hmm.
don't exactly know exactly what it is they want out of life. And as long as your what is unclear, like what you want is unclear, then you'll never truly know how to get there. So first step is just getting really clear on what you want, and then
Yeah.
asking yourself, right? Like when I have these things, when I'm living that life, when I am that person who I want to become, how will I be thinking every day, right? Like what are going to be my goals when I have already reached my current goals?
Mm-hmm.
What is the going to be the nature of my experience? When you start asking yourself those questions, now you're stepping into the perspective of your dream self that is living your dream reality. And from that, right, you start to become more of a vibrational match, because when you start thinking like your dream self, feeling like your dream self,
Mm-hmm.
believing life to be like your dream self believes life to be, now all that stuff, all these thoughts, all these emotions, they're just energy. It's just a vibration. You're now becoming like in vibration to that dream reality, which then automatically starts this process. Now, in every now moment, you are going to kind of create this flow where you are just flowing towards that reality, and you're just moving along this path where you just, you know, obviously you take action and you do what you love. You're just following your bliss until that reality automatically becomes yours, little by little.
Mm-hmm. And it's very funny because I've been looking into who I really want to be lately, and I had this meditation where uh, the answer just came to me. I just asked, how can I be this person? And the answer was just be.
Mm.
It's as simple as that, isn't it? It's just aligning with the being of who you really want to be. So if you want to be a little bit more confident, okay, how does it feel like, right? This is how I am now. So change thought by thought and slowly align to the possibility or the alternative reality that you want to be in, which is, I think it's so exciting, understanding all these steps and all these possibilities that we have.
It's quite turning the process around. So the conventional approach to achieving your goals and, you know, living or creating the life that you want to, and you know, this is pretty popular. It's I have to do this, right, this one task in order to get, you know, maybe that house or car, so that I can feel, you know, happy, empowered
Mm-hmm.
about myself. I can feel good about myself. I have these things. So creating your own reality is actually turning the entire process around, where you start with the feeling. You start with the being of what you want, because as you go through this process and as you mature in your create your own reality journey, as you mature on your spirituality journey, you realize that it's not necessarily the things that you want, the physical experiences that you want, but rather the feeling that they bring to you. So let's say like you want to be rich, right? Yes,
Mm-hmm.
you know, having a lot of money and everything is going to allow you to do certain things, but the main things you really want are probably the feeling of relief, freedom, empowerment, confidence,
Yeah.
you know? So Why wait till you have the money to feel those things? Because how you feel right now is a choice. So if it's a choice, then why not choose to feel the way that you want to feel and not using a condition as a means to an end to feel that way? So the create your own reality process, we turn everything around. Feel how you want to feel now. And then through that,
it's completely counterintuitive, isn't it? Completely.
Exactly. And through that, all the proper actions flow in the proper energy, yield the best outcomes. So then you automatically end up having what you desire and the reality that you desire. But it all starts with being first. Your state of being is at all times determining the nature of your future circumstances. So knowing that, always come to focus on your state of being rather than focusing outside physically on your limitations and all the current lack that might, you might have bought into. Let go of all of that. Come back to, how do I want to feel? And then I'm going to choose to feel this way because it is my choice.
Yeah, and most people don't understand that we do have a choice. We can choose what we want to feel. And I think it all comes with awareness, being aware of what you think. Every thought that comes into your mind, if you're aware of the thought, you can change it and make it what you want. And most people aren't aware of that. They don't know how to do it.
Yeah, because all our lives we've just been thinking, we've never even stopped to, or we've never been taught or directed to really just be still for a little while and notice that you can actually choose to think what you want, right? So most people, the way we've all lived our lives this way, thoughts just happen to us. And actually those thoughts are actually controlling our behavior. So here's the thing. If you really sit down and ask yourself, if my thoughts are dictating my behavior and what I do in my life, but I'm not even controlling my thoughts, they're just happening to me, then what does that mean? It means that you're not really controlling your life. Life is just happening to you. You're not even creating your life. Life is just happening to you. So really this whole process is about becoming the creator by choosing everything, choosing first how you want to be, how you want to feel, what you want to think. And through that, everything flows. And life truly becomes much more simple and effortless because now it's not just a bunch of randomness happening. It's actually all flowing from your choice.
Yeah, and it's also the reaction that people have or that we all have to things that are happening to us, like conversations with other people, drama, someone who's upset in traffic, everything. We just react and keep reacting, and we don't understand that the more we react, the more we attract that same situation. I don't know, a few miles down the road, someone has road rage, or tomorrow you go to work and someone has a go at you, but people don't understand that we just keep attracting. And it is all to do with awareness, isn't it? It's being aware of what things are and how they function.
Yeah, and it all ties back into knowing that and being aware of the fact that your state of being is what is determining the nature of your future circumstances. So let's just say you are in traffic and you get really mad and you react to that physical circumstance. In that moment, you are acting unconsciously because you have forgotten that your state of being, your feeling state, creates the nature of your circumstances. And now what you're doing is you're allowing your experience to actually dictate how you feel. So if you come across a seemingly negative circumstance, that's actually the label that you give it. And because of it, you feel bad. Now, what are you doing? Now you are actually just attracting more events in your life in the near and far future that are going to be more like in vibration to your current state of being, which is negative. So It really is backwards. You really have to kind of just always focus on yourself and not what is going on outside. Let what is going on outside just be a reminder to you that you are creating your own reality. So if you do encounter something that you don't resonate with, that you don't prefer, come back to your state of being. Like, okay, maybe, my past vibrations, my past state of being has created this event. So if I don't resonate with this anymore, stop giving it so much attention. Just ease off the brakes. Stop trying to control it on yourself. Create the feeling state. Create the state of being that you do want. Focus on what you do want, and then simply start, moving forward in a balanced way. You'll automatically start seeing that your experiences will start to reflect what you're feeling, your state of being.
Yeah. It's reality is a mirror for us, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's funny that you said about the experience not actually being negative when it's just a label that we give it, because on reality transurfing, it does, Vadim goes into explaining that there aren't positive or negative experiences. They're just experiences. They're just a vibration. And it's our perception and based on our beliefs, on our life, that we say, oh, it's a negative experience or a positive experience. What might be positive for me might be negative for you. Yeah, so it's based on perception, and I think that the goal is understanding that everything is an experience, good or bad. It is an experience. So see it as a mirror of yourself and just go with the flow. Understand where you want to be and just follow the new reality.
Yeah. Like if you want to create your life, then you have to start taking responsibility for everything in your life, not just for your own actions, but actually everything that happens, right? So I'm not saying that you are to blame for everything that happens, but you have to take responsibility, meaning that it is your responsibility to act or respond to this situation in an empowered way as chooser rather than victim.
Yeah.
So you have to start taking responsibility for how things are, for how you want to feel, for, like what meanings you give to certain things. Because no reality, no, what is a reality? It's just a configuration of energy, right? Like it's just a neutral configuration of energy. It's just a reflection of your state of being. It doesn't come with any feeling attached to it. It just is. The feeling portion is your choice. And the feeling is derived from the definition or the judgment that you pass on this current event. So something happens. If you define it to be bad, how are you going to feel based on that definition? You're going to feel bad. If you define it to be neutral or positive, you're going to automatically derive a better feeling from it, and then therefore create a better future. So it's very practical too. Like, when you actually learn and you try to simplify and look at this through the magnifying glass, it's very practical. It makes sense.
And it's so simple, isn't it?
Yeah. In the beginning, it's definitely complicated. It's like that integration period where you have to like learn to live in a new way, where you kind of, stepping into your power as creator and taking responsibility for everything. But over time, it becomes so simple. It becomes natural, and it becomes way more. It makes way more sense to you. So it's like, why would
it
I
does.
so many problems?
Yeah, but I don't know if your experience was, I guess it was a similar experience to mine, but my first reaction to, well, I'm creating everything was, oh my God, what the heck have I been creating? And I got really upset and beating myself up for creating so many unwanted things in my life. And it was like a few days of, I think I was adjusting to my new reality and understanding who I really was. But it kind of shocked me in the beginning, and it was a bit difficult, and I got a bit depressed. And then all of a sudden, it's like, oh my God, I'm the creator of everything. And if I created something that I didn't like, that means I can create what I really want. So I got really excited and really empowered, and I love it.
That's
But I
really
don't
cool.
know if you had the same sort of experience, like, oh, what is this now?
Not exactly, because it didn't all hit me at once. Where for me, it was more like, first I just got into general self-development, like the morning routine and all that stuff, and just, listening to a lot of motivational videos and whatnot. But then eventually I got into spirituality and like started to realize that, oh, wow, we actually do create our own experience. We are the determiners. I don't know if that's the word, but we determine what our life looks like. And actually, for me, it was like throughout the year or so that I was really just like revealing all of these secrets or like in this information. I was just in awe. I was just like this is incredible. Like I felt so empowered. The fact that we can actually have a say fully in what what the direction of our lives, rather than, before I always just felt like a victim, or like, why am I not good at this? And like, why are other people just naturally better at certain things than me? And why do certain people just have an easier time? So like, this changes the whole thing around. So I didn't have that depression period, but I know like a lot of people who did as well. It's like, because it kind of gets overwhelming. It's like, damn, it gets hard to, and that's why people don't want to assume responsibility, because it's like, damn, then that means I have to say that I am responsible for all of this. Things that I've been blaming other people for oh no, that's my fault. I'm not going to do that.
Yeah,
So
it's scary, isn't it? It is scary. You really want you need to want to do it. You need to do the internal work, and it takes time, and you have to want to do it. It's not
yeah.
just, oh yeah, I'll go and do it. Oh, it's easy. It's not. It's not. And I saw
And
a video. Sorry. Go on.
I was just going to add something little to that, that and it's surely like a full-time job. It's like, if you do want to, like people get into this kind of dabble, but it's like, if you just like meditate for 15 minutes in the morning, but then you completely become reactive throughout your day, it's not really going to make big changes for you. It's still going to help, but it's not going to make big changes for you. If you truly want to learn how to consciously create your reality, it has to be a full-time job. You have to care more about how you are living rather than what actually happens. That has to become your greatest priority.
Yeah.
So I released a masterclass recently, like 2 days ago, and in that I talk about how, like, if you're truly wanting to create a reality, you have to go all in on yourself, all in on your life, and you have to learn to face your demons rather than react to them and run away from them.
Yeah.
Because once you face them, you have to transcend them, and that's how you actually create those bigger shifts in your reality. That's just something
And
that has to be done.
it is, and it's amazing. And before I was going to say that I saw one of your videos where you were talking about the bliss moments, and I completely identified myself with what you were saying. That when you're learning and self-awareness and self-development, you get the bliss moments, and you
The what
have to
moment?
the bliss. You feel like the
Oh,
bliss all
bliss.
the
Yeah,
time. You
yeah.
feel like, oh my God, in awe. um, but they come and they go, and it's like you're always expecting them, and then they come a little bit more like more regularly. And then now I feel like I don't have the bliss moments as I used to have from time to time, but now my level, instead of being here, my
Yeah.
normal level is right there, and I don't go down as I used to. So it kind of levels up, and it's you just feel better and better all the time, which is amazing.
Yeah, on a
So
habitual basis. Yeah.
yeah, so there is a lot of work to do, but once you do it, you don't want to stop doing it because the rewards are so amazing. You really want to keep going.
Yeah, the greater your desire is to expand yourself, to grow out of who you think you currently are into what you can become, then the possibilities are endless for you. Then you continuously, your habitual vibration that you are like, you don't just constantly radiating at, which
Hmm.
comes with its own corresponding reality, right? That
Yeah.
supports that vibration. So as you continue to work on yourself, develop yourself, as you can maintain this firm desire to grow and expand and learn more and realize more of your true self, your habitual vibration will just keep getting higher and higher. You will oscillate at a higher frequency, and it will become easier for you to actually create. Your thoughts, your
Hmm.
emotions, your intentions start having greater power to manifest everything, and life just becomes more effortless. And a lot of the fears and the negativity that you felt at kind of this level, you don't feel at this level, like these levels, or it's very less and less and less. And even if you do, it's just like you constantly disregard it easily. So it's really a beautiful process, but it does require you to be patient with yourself, to actually really have the desire to go all in on yourself, and then
Definitely.
just continuing on, like, no matter what happens, and just facing your own negativity, realizing that yes, this is something that is coming from within. It's all me. My entire experience is me.
Yeah, but I'd say a word of caution for those who haven't started this process. This is exactly like the Matrix. You have the blue pill and you have the red pill. Once you take the pill, there's no going back. You can't unlearn what you've learned. So, yeah, you
It's
really
like
need
you
to
take it,
want to.
yeah, you just take it to the degree that you want to. Like in the beginning, someone might really not be ready for even the stuff that we're talking about right now. In the
Yeah.
beginning, you might just be ready for like certain regular self betterment, and that's beautiful too, because
Hmm.
whatever degree you're trying to better yourself in at that moment, that's beneficial for you, and you just do what resonates with you, and just keep on going. That's all. That's the only thing.
Yes, definitely. But it's so rewarding, so rewarding.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, so I wanted to ask you about pendulums. So what's your view on pendulums? Because it's a big
I
part
think
of reality transurfing, isn't it?
initially, but afterwards, I'd say the less you can focus on pendulums, the better it is. And I'll explain why I say that. So in the beginning, it's very crucial to understand that your mind is constantly being influenced by external pressures, external expectations, societal standards, and a lot of the social conditioning, right? Like a lot of your desires, the ones you might really think that you want, might not be your desires because they're just derived from you looking at your neighbor or like your friends, and just let's just say they have a Ferrari, so now you're like, oh, I want a Ferrari. But like, does your heart truly desire a Ferrari, or is it just because that desire was born through comparison? And so like our society is built on a lot of these expectations and desires and standardized processes where it's like you have to go to school and college and get a job and whatnot.
Yeah.
So it creates what these pendulums are really is just these like established energy systems which create the standard for how you should live your life. But you as infinite consciousness, like that is just living this experience, you have the ability to live however you want to. But once you start to subject yourself to these standards and expectations and all this conditioning, then you start to live an unauthentic life. So what pendulums really, like the main hindrance that they are to your create your own reality journey, is that they try to take you off your path of authenticity. Rather than you being able to fully express yourself, there's so many like external pressures in the world, like you have to prove yourself, your worth and everything. All of those are pendulum created structures that try to take you off your path of your most authentic path, which is also the path of your greatest happiness. So in the beginning, it was very, very empowering for me to learn about pendulums and how, like all these external influences are trying to constantly control my mind and everything. But after a while, you like kind of step into your power. It will serve you a lot more to just focus on yourself. Like, okay, is this something that I truly want to do? How do I feel about this? Is this something that I truly desire? Is this going to lead me, blah, blah, blah. So after a while, the focus on yourself becomes way more prominent. But in the beginning, learning about pendulums is very empowering.
That's why I brought it up, because I think that it's important to understand the reaction in the beginning, and then you get to a point where you think, actually, I'm the creator of my own reality, so I can choose what actually comes into my awareness and into my life. So they do lose power, so to speak. They stop being important, and it will then depend on what you want to focus on.
Absolutely. Because even if these pendulums are external, they are still within your experience. So they are still, the pendulums that you are coming across personally are going to be different than the pendulums I'm coming across, because you are coming across the pendulums that are actually resonating with you a little bit, that are resonating with your vibration and, different from me. So even then, when we are looking at these external influences, we have to look at them as a part of our own reality and then learn more about ourselves rather than being triggered by them. Pendulums kind of provoke you. They create situations that, that trigger you. Rather than being triggered, rather than reacting, you like always taking the opportunity and making it an initiative to always step back in, being aware, waking up, and then learning more about how this situation could actually serve you and how you can learn from what you are experiencing, what pendulums you're coming across, continue to transcend, continue to overcome, and then keep moving.
And one of the ways that we can do that, it's by detaching, isn't it? It's not giving too much importance to what we want, what we're living, what's happening around us. It's not just the reaction, because the reaction only comes because we are giving it too much importance, isn't it? And like Vadim says in his book, if you give too much importance to one of your desires, you're not likely to get it because it's too important. So you're focusing too much, there's too much resistance, and the pendulum comes in, takes it away. So it's one of the ways, isn't it? It's like learning to detach.
Because if something in your reality is super important, or your desire is super important, you're going to create obstacles for yourself, because then you're coming from the energy of, I'm lacking this right now, and I have something to lose, or I have something to conquer, or guard, right? And I have to, prove myself to in order to. So all of these excess potentials, what we call them, get involved. And if you consider your dream life, your desired life to be up here, like on a pedestal that you have to climb towards, then your mind is constantly going to look for complicated solutions to even the simplest of problems on the journey to that reality. And if you think that, so that's what we call outer importance, and an inner importance where it's like you think that you're not worthy, or you think you're way better than anybody. So either way, right, either side.
Yeah.
But most likely it's usually like we don't believe we're worthy of our dream life. We don't believe that we have what it takes. So if that's the case, then when you experience the journey, you're going to, again, create more obstacles and constantly radiate this energy that you're not worthy. So it's just not a good mix. So what the best case scenario is, you simply understand and continue to hone your understanding of the fact that infinite parallel realities exist. What you imagine is already a possibility for you. It already exists. You don't have to create it. You simply have to become a vibrational match to it. And if it already exists and you have chosen it because you are the chooser and you are the creator of your life, then learn to just let go of the importance. Like there's no need to obsess over something or put something on a pedestal that is already yours, that you already believe to be yours. It is a part of you. So, just continue to be balanced and go on this journey and just keep on moving and consider it to be a done deal already. And that's a empowering way to go about it,
You said something on one of your videos the other day about I am one with infinity and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm one with infinity and infinity is all there is or all the possibilities. So all there is already here. I'm one with my desire.
When we say infinity, right, we use the word so liberally, but like, what does infinity really mean? It means endlessness, right? Like no beginning, no end. And if there's no beginning, no end, it is the only thing there is. Like, it's quite logical. It's like there can't be two infinities because that would mean that in order, then that would mean that both of them are finite. Then both of them, so they cannot be two infinities. It just is infinity, and everything exists within infinity. Everything is just one aspect of infinity. So the quote was, and I'm not sure exactly where I got this from. I don't know if it was a book or if it was like a lecture or something, but it was, I am one with infinity. You can't be outside of infinity, right? So I'm one with infinity. My desire is one with infinity. Therefore, I am one with my desire. And you can continue to say that as an affirmation again and again and again to yourself.
I lost you. I don't know if it's recording.
Did it freeze or something?
It froze completely. You were going to say you didn't know where you got the quote from, if it was a book.
Yeah, so
sorry.
I don't know if I don't know where I got the quote, but the quote is, "I am one with infinity." Right? You can't be outside of infinity. You are within it because infinity is one. So I am one with infinity. My desire is one with infinity. Therefore, I am one with my desire. And that's a basic understanding within this now moment in which you manifest every reality of your life, from the moment you're a baby till you're in old age, you're about to die. But in this now moment exists the potential of infinite realities. This now moment is the center of the universe through which you create every single now. Everything already exists within this now moment. So just become a vibrational match to the reality that you resonate with the most, that you desire the most, and you truly will have it. Little by little, you will have it. The more you allow yourself to have, the more of a vibrational match you become to it, the more your mind allows the possibility of it happening for you. That's where it will become a reality for you.
How empowering is that? It's just, I think the more I learn, the more I understand that reality is amazing. It's amazing.
It is. Yeah. You cannot even describe it. You cannot really even begin to describe how amazing and miraculous it actually is. But it's like, are you willing to accept the miraculous nature of life? Are you willing to accept the possibility of it happening in your life? If you are, then you truly will experience it. If you are not, then you will continue to build this prison around your own self in which you live your structured life. So the more you can open your mind up to the possibility of it happening for you, the greater your chances are of experiencing it.
Yeah, it's so good. All right, okay. What did you think about Tufti, the High Priestess?
Yeah, I thought it was a great book. I think it's one of the books that is really simply written. And I think it's really, we don't give Vadim Zeland enough credit for that. He's a fabulous writer because he was able to, like, I think the approach he wanted to take after Reality Transurfing and all those books is like, okay, how can I actually put this into a book that people would really easily want to read because it's so short, and like in the simplest way possible, describe how to create your own reality. The thing is, I think it's a great book, but if you get into it before a lot of the reading, like the big Reality Transurfing book, and truly spending time with these teachings, then it can kind of brush over your head. I know I work with like some clients that kind of have read that book, but didn't gain much from it because they hadn't taken the time yet to fully integrate Reality Transurfing into their lives. So I do believe it's an amazing book. However, I do recommend that you actually go through the whole Reality Transurfing and then get to it. Or you could do it simultaneously as well.
It's better to do one and then the other. I found it was a bit difficult for me to start reading it. It was a completely different book from Reality Transurfing, the way it was written, and it just made me a little bit uncomfortable. The first couple of chapters, the way it's written, you have to read it to understand what I'm talking about. But then I just thought, oh my God, this is so funny, and it makes so much sense, and I quite enjoyed it in the end. But it took me a while. It did take me a while, yeah.
Yeah, in my Facebook group, someone also didn't like the way that, like, in the book they kind of really like make fun of you and whatnot, for the way you usually think and the way you have been living your life. But I thought in the beginning,
It makes
I was
sense,
actually like
doesn't it?
laughing. I was laughing, and that's really to like give you a little kick, like to really wake you up.
Yeah, I think that
Give
was
your
the
ego a
whole.
little kick. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was my ego saying, "Oh, I don't like this,"
Oh.
but then I got over it. Okay, all right. Is there anything, any tips you'd like to give to beginners? Anything you can recommend?
So I'll give a few tips. If you are, even if you are not just beginning this journey, even if you are like, you've been on this for a while, number one thing is you always have to really get clear on what you want, right? It's fancy to say you want to create your own reality and whatnot, manifestation and whatnot, but like if you are not fully clear on the reality that you want to live, and by by that I mean also who you will need to be to actually maintain that reality, right? Let's just say you want to be a singer and you see like the money and the cars and the fame that comes along with being a singer. So you see the benefits of the outside reality. Now put yourself in the shoes of a person who is already a singer, or the version of you that is already a singer, and like get familiar with what that lifestyle looks like, right? So whatever your desire is, put yourself in the shoes of the person who has already achieved that desire and get really clear about what that life looks like. Now, are you willing to live up to that? Are you willing to match your energy up with that? So the thing is, once you get clear about what you want, the process starts flowing and things start, unfolding. And all you have to do is maintain the courage to act, to really go all in, and just to keep following the journey with patience. So that's like my number one tip. Now, in order to actually take a chance on yourself and be courageous, you're going to have to gain some clarity about who you are, right? Past this personality, beyond these thoughts, these emotions, this body, who are you? If you continue to believe that you are this limited body within this big reality, this big world, and you have to like fight and struggle for your way to the goal, you will always struggle and you will always have a hard time. And you will really get down on yourself again and again and again. You will keep falling. Now, once you start to detach from this personality, this like body-mind combo that you have kind of just subscribed to all your life, and you start to notice your infinite nature, your nature as the space within which all this experience is occurring, what we call awareness, consciousness, then you will become truly empowered. Then you will realize that you can create and control this physical experience. So for that, I would say start meditating every single day. There's really no way out. You have to start meditating at least for 15 minutes every single day. And then just focus less on the outside, on your journey, and more on your own state of being, more on who you want to become, more on what energy you're constantly radiating. If you just combine all those things, there's like nothing stopping you. there will
Yes.
truly nothing will stop you.
It's being aware, isn't it? Most of the time you have to be aware.
Exactly. The
Yeah.
greater awareness you can flow into your day, into your life, the more like full of life, abundance, right? Like the richness
Mm-hmm.
of experience will actually, your life will start to embody. So it's beautiful. But it all starts
It
with
is.
you. So start today, start right now.
Oh, yes, definitely. Don't leave it for tomorrow or you won't do it. Start today.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Okay. Well, it was brilliant. I loved our little chat, and I hope we can do it again. And yeah, guys, if you enjoyed it, please give us a like and don't forget to subscribe. Hit the button down below, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks,
I had a
Sunny.
great time. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Okay, thanks. Bye bye.